wasn't great. You see, this is what LeBron. Remember when I said, do I got to get my ticket? Shannon, you want to hear this? Do I got to get the ticket, Molly? Do I got to put it up there? Great actor, great businessman, great father, great. Do I got to get all of that up? We can say that. Who questions the greatness of LeBron James? None of us have.
He was great. Okay. Let LeBron James something of that magnitude that happened to him. He's taking that for the week. Every time, yes, they would, you know it. And Michael Jordan was under a microscope. And you got to remember, there was no one in Jordan's class. Jordan was the one that took it to another level and globalized that brand because he stood alone. Right. He didn't have company, Shannon. He was all by himself.
Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe just went to war. And what started as a conversation about LeBron's legacy turned into something nobody saw coming. What happens when you put two of the most passionate voices in sports in the same room and ask them one simple question? Does LeBron James have more left in the tank? Chaos. Pure, unfiltered chaos. Two quotes, two philosophies, one argument that will never die. It started with Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, his confidant, his friend. Sitting across from Gilbert Arenas on his podcast, he said something that would light a fire across the sports world. LeBron faces scrutiny Michael Jordan never had to endure. The 24/7 news cycle, social media, the camera phones that capture everything. The common person turned scout, turned coach, turned critic with a Twitter account and an opinion they swear is fact.
Rise. Antlers is in platinum and Michael's maybe in gold. Why? Because when you think about, he had to be compared to.
Think about that for a second. Jordan played in an era where you had to wait for the morning newspaper to read about his game. You had to catch SportsCenter at 11 p.m. You had to be intentional about consuming basketball discourse. LeBron? He plays a game, and before he's out of the shower, there are 50,000 tweets dissecting every pass he didn't make, every shot he missed, every teammate he looked at the wrong way.
Michael would score 50 points, and they never said, well, Larry would have scored 65. Magic would have gave you 80. But if LeBron gets a triple-double, then they said, man, Kobe Jordan would have had 76 points.
It's a different game now. Not the basketball, the conversation around it. The scrutiny isn't just louder, it's algorithmic, it's weaponized. It's designed to make you feel something. Rage, joy, disappointment, and then share that feeling with thousands of strangers who either agree or want to tear you apart. And that's where the fire started. Shannon Sharpe came in hot, defending LeBron like a lawyer who's never lost a case.
No social media. Okay. And Rich Paul is absolutely right. There was no 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365, in which we had an idea. And what the internet has done is turned the common person into a head coach, into a general manager, into a scout, into a professional.
He wasn't wrong. The democratization of sports discourse means everyone gets a voice. And with that voice comes expectation, judgment, comparison. LeBron doesn't just play against the Nuggets or the Celtics. He plays against the ghost of Michael Jordan every single night.
When you just critique on court or on field or on ring accomplishments and what he had to undertake, nobody has had to bear the brunt like LeBron James.
Stephen A. Smith wasn't having it.
Your take on this particular issue, Shannon, is laughable. But I understand, and I forgive you.
Laughable. Not wrong, not misguided, laughable. And then he went deeper. Stephen A. reminded everyone Jordan faced the scrutiny too. Atlantic City, the gambling allegations, his father's death in 1993, the sudden retirement that shocked the world.
Man said in The Last Dance, this is why he said he retired, Molly.
Yeah.
He said he retired due to mental fatigue and burnout.
But Stephen A. had a response locked and loaded.
Do you remember Atlantic City?
Yeah.
When he was going up against the Knicks in the playoffs? Well, how did they know about that, Shannon?
So his father died, and then, a few months later, he decided to
But you
walk
see,
away.
y'all
So
see,
that was different.
that was
Here's the thing, though. Jordan's scrutiny was different. It was contained. It had boundaries. Newspapers, television, word of mouth. You had to seek it out. And when Jordan stepped away, the conversation stopped. He controlled the narrative. LeBron's scrutiny is everywhere. It's instantaneous. It's unescapable. It's in your pocket, on your feed, in your face. That's the paradox at the heart of this debate. LeBron has more tools, more money, more resources to protect himself. Personal chefs, recovery specialists, $1.5 million a year investment in his body. But he also has more eyes, more voices, more people waiting for him to slip, stumble, show weakness. And when he does, it's not just criticism, it's a movement, a hashtag, a narrative that takes on its own life. And then Stephen A. did what Stephen A. does best. He flipped the script.
Who the hell said LeBron wasn't great? Do I got to get my ticket? Shannon, you weren't here for this. Do I got to get the ticket, Molly? Do I got to put it up there? Great actor, great businessman, great father, great. Do I got to get all of that up? We should say that. Who questioned the greatness of LeBron James? None of us have.
Silence. Because he's right. Nobody is saying LeBron isn't great. That's not the debate. That's never been the debate. The question isn't about greatness. It never was. It was about relevance.
It's great. That ain't the point. What you gonna do with the Lakers, bro? Are they gonna be great? You gonna win some damn games? Don't make this about him. No, this ain't about him.
And that's the knife twist. That's the real debate underneath all the noise. LeBron can be great. He can be 40 years old and still dropping 25, 8, and 7. He can still dominate at the Olympics, win MVP, prove he's got gas in the tank.
At my age, the miles that I have, and to be able to play at the level I played at, it gave me even more a sense of, I do have a lot in the tank.
LeBron himself said after the Olympics, ESPN won. But what does it matter if the Lakers don't win?
You're going to get bounced out in 5 games in the first round. You're going to get swept whenever you see Jokic in the vicinity and you ain't got Steph and the crew to help you out.
It's brutal. It's honest. And it's the reality LeBron lives in every single day. Michael Jordan never had to justify his greatness while losing. When he was on top, he was untouchable. 6 finals, 6 rings, no Game 7s, no debates about whether he had enough help or whether he should have done more. Michael Jordan was under a microscope. Even though LeBron is clearly the biggest star, there are a plethora of stars in the NBA, but there was no one in Jordan's class. Jordan was the one that took it to another level and globalized that brand. He stood alone. He didn't have company. He was all by himself. And that loneliness, that singularity, created a different kind of pressure. But it also created a different kind of legacy. Because when Jordan won, there was no asterisk, no yeah but, no qualifiers.
Excuse me, name a championship finals that Michael Jordan lost.
Silence. Because you can't. Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. Perfect, untouchable, mythological. LeBron went to 10 finals, won 4, lost to 6. And every loss became a referendum on his greatness, his will, his killer instinct. Is that fair? Maybe not. But that's the world he chose to compete in. Stephen A. pressed further on a point that often gets lost in this debate.
You don't talk enough about the resources today's generation of players because of the money that they're getting paid, what they have available to them to ward off the cynicism and the scrutiny.
This is critical. Jordan played in an era where max contracts were a fraction of what they are now, where player empowerment wasn't a thing, where you couldn't build a media empire while you were still playing. LeBron, he's a billionaire. He has production companies. He controls his narrative in ways Jordan never could. LeBron has teams of people protecting him from those moments. PR specialists, legal teams, a carefully curated social media presence. Jordan had to navigate scandals in real time with no spin doctors, no crisis management firms, no carefully worded Instagram statements. When the gambling allegations surfaced, Jordan faced the press directly. When questions arose about his father's death and his first retirement, he had to answer them himself. If Jordan, with all his isolation from 24/7 media, still burned out, still needed to step away, what does that say about the pressure he faced? Maybe it wasn't about the volume of scrutiny. Maybe it was about the intensity, the weight of being the guy, the only guy. Kendrick Perkins walked into the chaos like a referee stepping between two fighters.
Molly, I thought I was at a family reunion listening to my uncles play dominoes. All that damn screaming and stuff going on. But look, do LeBron James have a lot left in the tank? Yes, we was asking this question 3 years ago. And the answer, yes, he's defeated for the time. We get all that.
But then he added the part that mattered.
But when you playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most historical franchises in sports, and you're LeBron James, every single season that you step foot onto the floor is championship or bust. There's no other way around it. Look.
There it is. The weight, the expectation, the impossible standard that comes with being LeBron James.
LeBron James said it himself. I'm going to walk away from the game if I feel like I'm cheating the game. LeBron James' goal every time he step on the floor is to go out there and complete the mission. Can he complete the mission this season? Can he step on the floor and take a backseat or get the most out of Anthony Davis?
That's the real question. Not whether LeBron is great, but whether he can be great enough to overcome the roster limitations, the coaching changes, the Western Conference gauntlet. Stephen A. and Shannon can yell, they can argue about social media and scrutiny and who had it harder, but the real story is this. LeBron lives in a world where greatness isn't enough, where longevity isn't enough, where being one of the top players at 40 still gets you questioned, doubted, dissected. Here's what makes this debate so fascinating, so endless, so impossibly complex. Jordan's legacy is sealed, finished, perfect. 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, 0 blemishes. LeBron's legacy is still being written. Every game adds a line. Every playoff run rewrites a chapter. Every quote, every decision, every move gets analyzed through the lens of his entire career. 22 years, 10 finals appearances, 4 championships across 3 different franchises, the all-time leading scorer, a player who at 40 is still one of the best in the world. But championships are the currency of greatness in the NBA. And in that currency, Jordan is richer. Not by much. LeBron has 4, Jordan has 6. But those 2 rings, those 2 finals losses, they loom large. They create space for doubt. And in that space, the debate lives. This debate will never end. Not because there's no answer, but because the answer changes depending on what you value. Do you value perfection? Then it's Jordan. 6 for 6. No losses in the finals. The killer instinct, the mythology, the moment frozen in time, the shrug, the flu game, the shot over Russell. Do you value endurance? Then it's LeBron. 22 years, 10 finals appearances, 4 championships, still competing at 40. Still relevant, still elite.
LeBron faced tougher scrutiny than Michael Jordan did.
Yeah.
Shannon said yes. Stephen A. said no. And they're both right. The scrutiny is different. The tools to handle it are different. The expectations are different. But here's what's undeniable. LeBron has something left in the tank. And whether you believe he's the GOAT or not, whether you think he faces more scrutiny than Jordan or not, one thing is certain, we're still talking about him, still debating him, still watching, because that's what legends do. They make you care, they make you argue, they make you choose sides and defend your position like your life depends on it. But perception is reality in sports. And the perception is that LeBron has to work harder, prove more, win more convincingly to earn the same respect Jordan gets by default. Is that fair? Probably not, but fairness has nothing to do with legacy. So the question isn't whether LeBron has enough left in the tank. The question is, will it ever be enough for us? Or will we keep moving the line, asking for one more ring, one more finals, one more miracle until he finally walks away? Jordan retired a champion twice. He chose his ending. LeBron's still here, still fighting, still proving.
LeBron James, what's up, bro? Are the Lakers gonna win?
That's the question LeBron wakes up to every morning.
Not whether he's great, but whether he can stay great, whether he can carry a franchise, whether he can silence the doubt one more time. And maybe that's the difference. Jordan got to write his ending on his terms. LeBron's still writing his. And we won't know how it ends until the final buzzer sounds. But one thing is clear, we'll all be watching. Because this story, this impossible, beautiful, frustrating, legendary story isn't over yet. The debate never dies. It just evolves.